The leaders of the AES must make changes. I think it's time they do so. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tuntum Network. I'm Cyrus, and thanks for all the support we've received so far. Be sure to subscribe if today is your first time watching us. If it's credible geopolitics, you come to me on Tuntum Network. But if it's doors for home security, you look for Doormaster. Doormaster has it all. Interior and exterior doors, back and side doors. They have high ceiling and fingerprint doors, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, they have doors for the 1% elite in society. Those are doors of statement. It speaks on your behalf. They have branches across Accra and the rest of the country. Call them today if quality doors at competitive prices is your interest. 0542 745 222 or 0500 212 447. You can call them now. Thank me later. I repeat, the leadership of the AES must make changes immediately to protect themselves and to protect the good work they've done in the last 2 years. Ladies and gentlemen, please hear me out on this. When I heard of the coup attempt in Mali, I knew it was true. And I also know it won't be the last. By the way, this happened on the 10th of this month, August, and dozens of soldiers numbering about 50 have been arrested. The thing is, why would any of these soldiers want to remove Assimi Goita or Captain Traore or Chiani, looking at the great things they are doing? I'll tell you why. And I am confident in my prediction because it is always the case in Africa whenever a military government rules a country. Soldiers of any of these three countries would want to remove the leaders because of the mechanical challenges or systemic challenges or changes that usually comes with military government. You see, whenever a military leader takes over a country, everything that has to do with the systems that run the country immediately stops. People who sit at the very top of the systems in the countries become careful and fearful of what to do in order not to offend the regime. This is the standard. What happens is everyone now looks towards the commands or dictates from the military leader on a consistent case-by-case basis to actually do their work. People no longer work as they should anymore without getting clearance from the central leadership, which is the military leader. This is to make them be on the right side of the regime to avoid being targeted. Now, this is where the problems always begin, ladies and gentlemen. And it doesn't just happen in civil service. It happens in the military service, the police, immigration, and every other state institution. Everyone who acts without authorization from above becomes suspicious. This especially applies to soldiers in the army. And this is when other soldiers may get frustrated with the new order, especially those soldiers whose ranks were higher than the coup leaders' rank when they make decisions, ladies and gentlemen. It's all psychological, but this can be corrected with a set of strategies to implement. And this is the reason for this video, ladies and gentlemen. I am making this suggestion to the Captain Ibrahim Traore, to General Abdul Rahman Chiani, and to Colonel Assimi Goita. And I hope this message finds them. If you want to put in the best systems around you to provide you with the best assurance for your safety as president, then hear this. I am not saying this strategy will completely take the monkeys off your back. That's not what I'm saying. But I believe it will be the best bet yet. Your best bet. First, you need a referendum. This is my third time suggesting this to you. You need a referendum to allow the people to legitimize your stay in office. And you need a referendum to validate your stay in office on the international stage. I've explained this severally in other videos. You need a referendum to allow for constitutional rule. The notion that the military leader throws in a white paper as and when he wants and make decisions for the country without consulting key stakeholders is what actually triggers people's agitations, ladies and gentlemen. Foreign companies in your country are terrified by that decision that you can make. Heads of civil service departments are terrified by it, and people who may be seen as non-conformists are terrified by it. These will be the same type of people sponsoring soldiers to topple your government. So, if I were you, I would get a referendum done and reset to the constitutional rule. Secondly, for as long as every major order or decision will have to come from you or people connected to you before it can be applied, people are going to get fed up eventually and act strangely, even when you are doing the right things. Let me tell you this. This is how the human nature actually works. They get fed up, and they got fed up with Thomas Sankara, and his own ally took him out. If you remember, it happened to Kwame Nkrumah in spite of all his achievements during his 6 years rule, and all the greats on this land have suffered it. So please give an ear to my suggestion. The systems in your countries must work without your direct involvement all the time to take people's attention from being on you all the time. That can be achieved by first organizing a referendum. Let the people vote yes or no if they want you as president, and allow for some level of international media coverage. When that is done, you may allow for a complete constitutional rule under your leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, civil offices or government departments must go back to their normal work protocols. The standing orders within the military and all other security services must go back to their normal code. Ladies and gentlemen, your direct involvement must be steadily rolled back to allow for institutional heads to play their roles. But at the same time, you must continue to lead by example to put everyone on their toes when it comes to efficiency in management. This is a more guaranteed means of bringing confidence in your economy, and I hope this message finds its way to you. And I'm speaking to all the three heads of states of these three countries. Third and finally, this message is rather for the military of Niger, to the military of Mali, and to the military of Burkina Faso. This message is for you. History can easily repeat itself if you allow yourselves to be used as the catalyst for the oppressors and for politicians. You stand in a position of either being used to protect something special that is going to benefit your people in a matter of time in your countries, or you could be used to destroy something special in the making in your countries. The choice is in your hands, and I can only encourage you to make that right call when that situation arises. You have to choose to be on the side of this promising change and nation building that has eluded your countries all these years. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm speaking to the militaries of these three countries. You cannot therefore sell out your country for any type of promise. They've done this to us for decades, and that's why we are where we are today. So if you don't like the economic situation in your country, then make it a point not to contribute to its total collapse. What we, and I mean the people of these three countries, plus the rest of the African community, what we want from you is the support and contribution towards the ultimate goal of building your countries. This should be your priority as the military people, because it is expected that the French government makes you an offer. It is expected that politicians make you an offer. Mercenaries and jihadist groups will make you offers if they haven't done that already. But you, on your own, you have to rise above it, ladies and gentlemen. You have to do it on your own. Your loyalty and conscience must be to serve the people and to the land of your birth, and not to be sold for money. History is being written right now, and you have to put yourself on the right side of it. In 10 years from now, we will know whether the effort of these three leaders were helpful or not. Only time will tell. Until then, let's keep them on their toes to continue to do what's essential at all times. I wish the captain, the general, and the colonel all the best. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the continuous support of our channel. But I have something in addition to add. We couldn't have reached this level without you. However, YouTube is shadow banning us for the kind of content we do, but we will not be deterred at all. The pressure will continue to stay on until the change we want to see in Africa is realized. Therefore, if you're a frequent viewer but haven't subscribed yet, I want to use this opportunity to encourage you to do so today. And also click on the bell for all of our previous and incoming videos. I'll see you in the next one. It is bye-bye from here.